Welcome to Whisk is a Journey. My name is Peter Fasciano. Today, you're watching my channel segment called The Battle of the Bottles. I have 20 random samples. I just chose these two. They're labeled on the bottom. I'm going to pour them, nose them, taste them, talk about them a little bit, about what are the notes that I'm getting, and then let you know which one I like the most. I'm going to try to attempt to identify the proof and the type of whiskey. I am the person that's putting these battles together, so I have an idea of what's in the sample pool, so I don't really think I'm going to be guessing what the bottles are. I'm just gonna taste them and see which one I like the most. So taking a look at the color, reminds me of bourbon or rye. They seem to be both pretty dark. So let's go ahead and go on the left glass first and then the right. All right. Again, taking the glasses off. I think we got like 107-degree weather in Phoenix still, and we are halfway through September. All right, this does smell like a bourbon. It's sweet, there's vanilla, there's oak. Smells like a typical bourbon. All right, let's get it on the palate. Yeah, typical bourbon, pretty good ABV. I don't think really necessarily that it might be 100, or it might be actually 100. That's starting to radiate a little bit. Good amount of oak, a little bit drying, but everything on the nose is also coming through on the palate. There's a little bit of cherry on the palate that I didn't get on the nose, but the vanilla is there, the oak is there. Yeah, that's pretty good, but it's nothing spectacular. It's just a typical tasting bourbon. Yeah, not bad. It doesn't wow me, but yeah, it's pretty good. Let's go ahead and move on to the glass on the right. All right, so immediately, okay, I think I just got what this is. Buffalo Trace products come across to me as grapey and oaky. And as soon as I smell this, it's exactly what I got from the glass. You get that distinct grape popsicle stick note right off the bat. It is sweet. The nose on this jumps out of the glass more than this. So grapey, oaky, sweet, a little bit of vanilla. Let's go ahead and get it on the palate. Yeah, that comes across as pretty oaky. Some grape, some vanilla, some brown sugar, some caramel. A little bit more well put together than this one. I think they're pretty much comparable as far as like the typical bourbon notes that you get. I think this might be a little bit more proofy, but I'm not gonna know that until I really start going back and forth between the two. My immediate response, I like this more than this. On the nose, this has more vibrancy, more of the sweeter, darker notes that I like. This one is a little bit more on the oak side, but it still smells pretty good. I'm not getting much spice in either one. So again, initial impressions, I like this more than this. I'm gonna speed this part up. I'm just gonna fast forward it. I have my water over here. I'm gonna rinse my palate in between the two. And then when I come back, I'll let you know if anything has changed. All right, I'm back. I don't think there's any reason to go any further. Glass on my right is definitely a clear winner over the glass on the left. And what I found interesting, when I went from this one to this one, I didn't get much oak out of this one, but when I went back the other direction, the oak note that was in here was now amplified so much more. This had a really bad drying effect on the palate after I was coming off of this one. This is more of a fruitier pour, maybe some vanillas, brown sugars, slight amount of oak, no spice whatsoever. And then when I went back to here, the ABV seemed to be amplified. The proof seemed to be amplified. It was oaky, it was drying, it had a little bit more bitterness to it that I didn't particularly care for. I definitely liked the palate and the nose on this one being my first smell and my first taste. But when I drank this one and then went back the other direction, it dropped quite a bit. Like if this was on the ladder, this would be the top rung of the ladder, and this might be 2 or 3 rungs down on the ladder. They're both good. They're both very typical bourbon notes, but I do like the sweetness, the grapey, oak, vanilla, brown sugar, darker notes that are coming out of this, and it's not as oaky as this. Drying, a little bit of barrel bitterness, not as sweet, but just your typical bourbon. So definitely the winner. Now, as far as proof goes, I don't think either one of these, after going back and forth, I don't think either one of these is going to be very proofy, but I think this is less proof than this one. I do think that they're bourbon, and if I had to guess, just because of the grape note that I got out of this, I'm guessing Eagle Rare. And as far as this one goes, I have no clue. I know I recently did a 10-bottle flight of my bourbons with the Eagle Rare, the Henry McKenna, the Russell's 10. I know all of those, I took the individual bottles and I put them in the sample pool. So I'm guessing, since I already did Henry McKenna up against the Russell's 10, and I know that this is the Eagle Rare, or I'm guessing is the Eagle Rare, the only other thing that I think this could be, if I remember what I have in the sample pool, would be the Russell's 10, but I wouldn't be able to guess that this would be a Russell's 10. I just know that that was in the sample pool. So from process of elimination, remembering what I had, that's what I'm saying. Eagle Rare, Russell's 10. So I have them printed on the bottom. So let's go and see what we've got. Yep. So this is the Russell's 10, and this is Eagle Rare. So when you guys see this and you make notes in the comments, don't give me too much credit. I just know what's in the sample pool. And then once a specific note comes out, especially with this, it's just a matter of elimination based on what I know in my head that I have in my sample pool. So don't give me too much credit in the comments. I only have to keep track of 20 bottles, and that's not too difficult. And I think that's how everything also played out in the 5-bottle flight. I think Eagle Rare was my preference over all of the others, the Henry McKenna, the 10, and man, I can't even remember what the other bottles that I had in the flight were. But it doesn't make a difference. That's what I have for you. If you are not subscribed to the channel and you like this information, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Just go ahead and click on that link right there. If you like what I'm doing here, give me a like. Let me know in the comments down below what you prefer, the Eagle Rare or the Russell's 10. Turn that bell notification on because I go live with videos. It's my mom. I go live with videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I'm gonna give these a quick blend and see what I think of the Eagle Rare and the Russell's 10. See if it matches up to the Henry McKenna and the Russell's 10. So I do get a fruity cherry oaky note on the nose with the blend. It does smell sweet, and I didn't think spice would be there because neither of these had spice. So let's get it on the palate, see if this blend is anything as good as the Henry McKenna and the Russell's. No, it is not. I think the Henry McKenna and the Russells were a better blend than the Eagle Rare and the Russells. There is a good fruity note there. I don't get the grapey note that I usually get in the Eagle Rare on its own. Tastes a little bit oaky to me. There is now a little bit of a barrel bitterness as well. Ethanol seems to be standing out a little bit more. So I would say, nah, not a very good blend. So that's it. That's where I'm gonna leave it. I hope you're enjoying your journey. And until the next time, we'll talk to you later.